What's up, everybody? We are back with yet another review. We just posted one yesterday on Mafia: The Old Country. Today, we are talking about the first weekend of the Battlefield 6 beta. Now, this review is going to be coming from somebody who was never really a Battlefield player growing up. I played a couple campaigns, but I've mostly been a COD player when we're talking about the military-style FPS games. So it's going to be looking at it from the lens of somebody who has expanded their taste in games over the last few years. But when it comes to military FPSs, really been more of a COD player and never really been a Battlefield player. Before we get into that, if you ever want to see me game anything live, like next weekend for the Battlefield 6 beta second weekend, or it's looking like I'm probably going to get Battlefield 6 when it comes out, or COD, Apex, new games, single player Sundays. If any of that interests you, my Twitch is linked down below if you want to come hang out live, watch me play anything. Come tell me I suck or I'm stupid. That's fine. I'll probably get frustrated and get a little combative, but whatever. I also have all my other social medias linked down below, as well as my single player channel and my car social medias and car YouTube channel. If you're into cars, all of that is linked down below, and I do appreciate the support anywhere. But let's get into the review, and as usual, we're going to be looking at cons, so-sos, and pros. And I'll be talking through all of those, and then at the end I will give my final thoughts and my rating. So let's get into the cons. First of all, the TTK is wildly fast. I don't know if that's necessarily been a Battlefield thing, but I don't think so, because I saw today that the devs are going to be looking into the fast TTK. And whether it's somebody just hitting all of their shots with the AR or LMG or the broken shotgun, snipers don't count, right? Because that's what a sniper's supposed to do. But the TTK has been insane this past weekend, and that's something that needs to fix. And I'm really interested to see how the TTK gets handled when the Battlefield BR comes out. Because obviously you need a way longer TTK than what was in this weekend for a BR, or people won't enjoy it. The second, and this seems like a me complaint, but footstep audio was really hit or miss. I felt like I had matches where I had all the footstep audio in the world, and some matches where I had none at all. And then some matches where you couldn't hear footsteps because the battlefield was so loud, but they were probably present. Maybe it's just a me complaint, but I struggled with footstep audio a little bit. Then another con I have is the players in the game, and I think a lot of it is for COD refugees who aren't used to Battlefield, or maybe this is a Battlefield thing that I don't know about, but the amount of players who do not revive just kills me. You can be downed behind cover and have 5 people around you, medics or not, and nobody will revive, and then you just bleed out, as if the point of most of the matches is not total life count. And the amount of players who just don't revive is insane. And then the last one is Bloom, which I know is a Battlefield thing, but when they brought Bloom to COD, it was a disaster, and they ended up removing it. And a lot of other games just don't have Bloom. It's just not something that feels good. And when I have an automatic weapon, like most people, I want to just keep firing that automatic weapon instead of burst firing an automatic weapon. So I'm not a fan of Bloom, but it's also not that big of a deal. So moving into the so-sos, the so-so I have on here is mantling. Now the mantling was quick, the animation was good, I liked the actual mantling in the game, but why it's so-so and not a pro, or just left off of this review completely, is it was confusing sometimes, because sometimes I could mantle something in one try, and then sometimes I would be spamming jump and then finally would mantle, and then other times you're jumping at something that is when you jump is lower than shoulder height and it's just not mantleable, whether that's on short roofs on buildings or over railings on a balcony, where you're getting high enough that you should mantle and it just doesn't mantle till you destroy that part. So the mantling is good when you can mantle. It's just I struggled where I'd have to spam jump, or things that you should be able to mantle onto that you just couldn't for whatever reason, and so that's why it's in the so-sos. In the pros, this is an obvious one. The game was gorgeous. The environments looked good, from the far away environments to the close-up details. All of it looked gorgeous. The look on the vehicles, the guns, everything was gorgeous. The destruction, which of course is a Battlefield staple, which is later on this list, looked cool. With the way buildings would crumble, looked awesome. And overall, that the game was just gorgeous. The second is guns, and mainly how guns feel and shoot. Coming from COD, where the last few years have been a visual recoil mess. Even now in the Black Ops 6, where they reduced the visual recoil. It's still more than COD used to be, and certainly more than in Battlefield 6. So it was nice to get into a military-style game that didn't have crazy visual recoil. And the guns felt satisfying to shoot. They sounded good. Overall, I thought the guns in Battlefield were really good. A small detail on here is the redeploy cam. When you're redeploying on a deploy beacon or on a teammate or on a point, whatever, in a vehicle, it's cool that they have the camera to show what's going on where you're looking to redeploy. And it's cool how it's not like a POV. It's like a helmet cam if it's like a player. Or like it's a camera on the piece of equipment. I think the redeploy camera is really cool, and I'm sure that's an old Battlefield thing that I just don't know about, like a lot of this stuff is. Which leads into the next thing is destruction. I know destruction has always been a thing of Battlefield, and that it's something that I wish more games had. That's why I'm highlighting it, not necessarily because like, oh my god, Battlefield has destruction, I'm so surprised. I knew that, but just having destruction was cool. Like Vanguard Call of Duty did it, and it was just like you could destroy a door, right? Like, or this one certain wall you could destroy, but it was like very minimal destruction. I love like collapsing parts of buildings or whole buildings, and that's just a really fun thing that, like, of course, is a staple of Battlefield, but it's surprising how unique it is to Battlefield. Next I have is maps. One of the things that I tried to get into Battlefield 2042, I ended up not at all. And of course, there's a lot of Battlefield players that didn't like 2042 anyways. But I played the beta, canceled my pre-order because it was all just wide open maps. And, you know, one of the things that is different for me for COD is I tend to lean to the closer combat, unless we're talking BR, but when we're talking just like hectic multiplayer, I tend to lean to the smaller, like 6v6s, although in Vanguard, I did love the different modes where there's like 8v8 and 12v12. But I tend to stick to the smaller squad size, arena, arcade style stuff. But 2042 had all these wide open maps, and I don't necessarily love the wide open maps, at least in the beta. In this beta, you know, most of the maps were close quarters focused with some longer range areas, you know, down roadways and stuff, but you could stick pretty close quarters. And I tend to like more close quarters when I'm not playing a BR, and that these maps were like that. So next we have classes. Now I know, once again, different classes like medic, scout, recon, assault. Those have been a Battlefield staple. But any game that has classes like that, if you watch my reviews, I always point out as a pro because I like being able to cater to specific play styles. Whereas like COD or like Halo, it's like, hey, everybody's the exact same. You know, Halo, you could pick up different guns and equipment and stuff, but like everybody's kind of the same. I like catering specifically to class styles, and so I always enjoy classes. And then finally on the pros, we have the loadout system. You know, having like the attachment points, where it's kind of like COD's old pick 10 system, where you have to be really specific, and better attachments are worth more, so you had to balance out better attachments instead of just having, all right, this is the best of every category's attachments like you do in COD. It's nice that you have to put some more thought into your loadout versus this is just the best attachment in each category. You have to balance out what you're looking for, and, you know, does this attachment do enough so you can save attachment points, or do you really need the best? And I really like that loadout system. And it would be cool to see that kind of loadout system be in COD or other games that try to do like loadouts and gun builds and stuff. So those are my pros, my so-sos, my cons. My cons being the TTK. I had trouble with footstep audio. Nobody revives anybody, so the players are frustrating, and I just don't like bloom in any games. My one so-so was mantling was just inconsistent. Felt great when it did it, and sometimes you just couldn't mantle. And my pros was gorgeous. The guns felt good to shoot, sounded good, all of that. The redeploy camera is a cool little detail. The destruction is cool. The maps were good. The classes are always something I like in games, and the loadout system was good and well thought out. One con I did forget is the mini-map in the lower left, which once again I know is a Battlefield thing, but I never look there. My mic arm is slightly in the way, and that's more of a streamer, content creator issue that most people don't have. I'm used to it being top right, top left, maybe top right. I have those backwards because the camera's flipped compared to where I'm at, so top left or top right is where I typically like the mini-map, and not having an option to move it is something that I think should be added. You know, I would like an option to move it so it would be welcoming to players that come from other games. Like if you look at COD and Apex, mini maps are top left. Fortnite now, I haven't played Fortnite in like 6 months. I don't remember. I think Fortnite has a mini map, and I think it's top left. But just having it not bottom left, having it somewhere towards the top, my eyes are more drawn to looking at information on the top and not the bottom left, unless we're talking health. So that is all my pros, so-sos, and cons. As someone who doesn't play Battlefield and comes from a lot of other games and tried out Battlefield, I honestly thought it was great. I didn't think I'd want to play it for that long because typically like the big map, big team battle style modes, like COD has ground war, those kind of modes usually don't appeal to me. I tried Delta Force. Part of that was when I tried it, they only had mouse and keyboard support and I'm a controller player, but I typically don't love or am able to spend a lot of time and enjoy a lot of time on the Battlefield style modes and games. And I actually found myself having a lot of fun this weekend. So for the first weekend, honestly, coming from someone who comes from mostly like COD, Apex, and tries out a lot of like arena and arcade shooters on smaller scales, honestly, I'd have to give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the first weekend of the Battlefield 6 beta, and I'm definitely looking forward to next weekend. But those are my thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you like this type of content, or you like Apex content, Warzone content, game reviews in general. If you like the type of content, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see that content first. Please don't forget to check out all the links in the description down below, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.
Position needed on the marked objective.
No matter where I spawn or where I go, I just feel like half of our team's not playing.
Really? Yeah.
We're tracking an
Back
enemy
off.
flag west of your location.
I'm flanking super wide all the way back to Alpha.
The enemy's taking Alpha.
Oh!
Oh my god, what a shot.
Our forces are attacking objective Charlie.
Alpha's got a really good sniper play.
I took out them, yeah.
Nice.
Hostiles still hold more objectives.
So far, nothing?
Charlie is being neutralized.
I love the announcer commenting that they hold more objectives.
Alpha.
As if they haven't held more objectives like all game. Got him with a nade.
Careful here. Like, behind the car.
Dead behind the truck.
Not see. Oh, ooh, ooh.
Hostile forces are still
Got him.
ahead in the fight.
Nice.
Let's regroup.
Nothing here.
I think
Nothing
we're gonna
coming
cap
from
A.
B.
Not gonna matter. As we're capping A, we're about to. Oh, we're gonna get C. All right. I'm heading for B.
Yeah.
Onward towards Bravo.
Objective marked.
Oh god, a tank.
Supporting the attack.
I've spotted hostile heavy armor in our AO.
Push it through.
Our forces have neutralized Delta.
Someone's here.
Was.
Control more objectives than the enemy.
I blasted him. Camping in Battlefield is crazy.
Enemy attack confirmed at Charlie.
Your squad has 1,000 lives.
We're attacking objective Alpha.
Where are they shooting you from?
Got him.
Nice.
It was like around here. Or
Hostiles now hold more objectives. Out.
Yes, I'm heading back towards Alpha.
Look, Grasshopper, careful. There might be somebody.
Objective Delta is under our control.
Coming from the right side on the flank. Ah, dang it.
I got 10 captures. Second best score in the whole game.
Damn.
The enemy has taken Alpha.
So far, it was just one.
Heading for Charlie.
I'm hanging on
Be
to
advised,
Grasshopper.
hostiles are attacking objective
See you
Echo.
there.
I'm hanging out with June the Goon.
Someone's gonna go towards B. Someone got me. Nice.
Enemy close to victory. I need everyone on the offensive. Everyone.
Back towards Alpha.
Bravo is under attack.
Cool.
Enemy attack launched on Bravo.
And now teammates want to play the objectives.
Oh.
Attack support needed on the marked objective.
He's getting captured.
Be advised, Delta taken by hostiles. Be advised, the enemy now controls more objectives.
We have Bravo under attack.
Be advised, Charlie is under attack.
Someone's up there.
Our forces have neutralized Bravo.
Going back towards Charlie.
Attack support needed on the marked objective.
Bravo is under attack.
No. They're attacking Alpha.
Enemy attack launched on Bravo.
They got a tank over on Alpha now. Yeah, I think this one might be a loss. It's okay. I'm not upset. I'm not sad or anything. I don't like to win. I ended up with the highest score in the whole game because I had 15 captures. All right, I got one more game.
Sounds good.